In the last video, we have added an error text to indicate when the email and password are invalid, and this is so that we can help our users to enter the correct information. However, there is one small problem that I'd like to fix, and to show you what it is, I can dismiss the sign-in page, and then when I open it again, as you can see, both the email and the password fields are in an error state. So it would be nice if we could show the user any error states only after the form has been submitted once. And in order to do that, we're going to need a new state variable to tell us if the submit button has been pressed. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So we're going to the top of our state class, and over here we can add a new bool submitted variable, and we're going to set this to false by default. And then inside our submit method, we are going to call setState. And inside here, we can say submitted is true. Before I continue, I just want to quickly make this variable private, like this. Next, we are going to add some logic to the conditions that we use to enable the error text in our email and password fields. So if I go down here, I can see that there is a password valid variable, and this is used to choose whether we show an error text or not. So in a second, we are going to add the submitted value to this condition, but before we do that, I want to rename this variable to something that is more meaningful. So what I'm going to do is to rename this to show error text, like this. And I want this value to be true if the form was submitted and the password is not valid. And just to be clear, we have just inverted this condition. So inside the error text line, I'm going to say that if show error text is true, then we show the invalid password error text. Otherwise, we return null. And now that we have made this change, we're going to do the same thing for our build email text field. So here I'm going to rename this variable, and I'm going again to say show error text, like this. And again, this is true if we have submitted the form and the email is not valid. And once again, because we have inverted this condition, then we are going to update this line so that if show error text is true, then we show the invalid email error text, and otherwise the error text is going to be null, like this. Okay, so with this change, I can now hot reload, and as you can see, the error text has now disappeared from both text fields. And I can enter a non-empty string for the email and a non-empty string for the password as well. And I try to sign in. Now, if I open up the console log, we can see that we got an error because the email address is badly formatted. However, we have now submitted our form. So if I clear the email and password, you can see that the error text is now appearing again. And this confirms that our new logic works as intended. Now, there is one little detail that we still need to address, and that is that if I now press on the second button so that I can toggle my form in order to register a new account, then the error texts remain visible. However, when we switch between sign in and registration, our intention is to reset the form entirely. So for this reason, I would like to reset the submitted state when I toggle the form type. So to do that, I can go into the toggle form type method, and inside setState, I can add a new line and write submitted equals false. Okay, so this completes all the changes that I wanted to do with regards to the error texts. And so I can hot reload one more time, and now I can enter a non-empty email and password, and I can try to create an account. And this call fails because I haven't entered a valid email. But now I could clear the email again just to show you that the text error still appears. And if I now toggle the form again, I can see that these are cleared and the text fields get back to their normal state. Okay, so we are now ready to continue, and we'll do that in the next video.